You have put in a lot of work through self-inquiry, through shadow work, through being brave to enter into your unconscious mind and dredge up many of the transgenerational conditionings that have been bestowed upon you in this lifetime. And you have been able to attune to something beyond you. And if you are still doubting that, just recognize that one doubt and then rest your attention back into its primordial stillness. Every time that you do that, every time you take that one step to shift away from mind identification of sitting back into the heart and de-identifying from your narrative, a part of you dies. If you're willing and if you're open enough to really let it do so. If you're willing to let that consciousness, if your consciousness dilate open and receive a new energy that isn't bound by fear, which it very well could be, as it has been in my life, a big part of your spiritual journey. So practically speaking, softening into awareness, having an intent flavored with love is a really beautiful thing that we can give to people for Christmas. Simon Brown made a really good video on this, and it's very aligned. The greatest gift that you can give to your family, right? Because Christmas is often like this thing that we dredge ourselves, we force ourselves to go toward if we think about spending time with our family. Because so much of this process is about unraveling our identity and our conditioning. And when we re-immerse ourselves back into that situation, there's fear. There's, what if they see that I'm not spiritual? What if I react? What if I come into and push my brother's buttons or my father's buttons or my partner's buttons, whatever comes up? And there's fear. And the way that we transmute that fear is we meet it with love, with loving attention. We rest attention into it, but we also soften away and stay receptive to our mind being unburdened by that fear. And again, as we step into that, as we soften into it, as we stay attuned to that with loving awareness for any resistance patterns that then arise from that place of unbinding, we bring love to them. And we give those parts love that have served us previously. And then that back and forth dance of loving and releasing, then that outwardly reflects into daily life. And the more that you keep softening and the more that you keep allowing and the more that you step in and receive that recognition of maybe God, of awareness, that will start to transmute your heart at a much deeper level than you could possibly do through things like shadow work, without negating shadow work. And that will open your heart up to the point where it will burst if you're really willing to receive that. And that is the greatest gift that you could give your family. To shift away from that fear while being encompassing and allowing of that fear if it does emerge. And to just be, to drop any filters that you have of your family, to drop any mental overlays that you've accrued. Oh, this is my brother and he's like this. Oh, this is my father and he's like this. The more that you can penetrate that through just softening into who and what you are, which is unbound by any concept with an intention of love, an intention of presence, they'll feel it, and you'll feel it, importantly, as well. Until you feel it, you won't be able to reflect it. And until you're willing to receive that, until you're willing to put that out, and until you're willing to let go of familiarity, of the safety of residing in fear, that won't fully shift. So stay open to that possibility that it could shift this Christmas for you. And I hope you have a wonderful new year, and I wish you fruition. I wish your heart opens. I wish any unskillful conditioning that hasn't served you drop away from you, like doubt, all that pain, all that seeking. Yeah, I hope that drops away for you and you can just be with your family. So, yeah. Merry Christmas.